My parents' words hit like a slap. "You're not half the woman your sister is." They snapped during our last phone call. I didn't argue. Instead, I hung up and pulled up my bank app, staring at the transfers I'd made over the years. My name is Isla Moss 32, a software engineer scraping by in Virginia Beach, Virginia. As I scrolled through the statements, something didn't add up. I'd sent $80,000 in the past 5 years to help my parents invest in real estate after my father's business tanked. It was supposed to be a family effort to rebuild, but they handed control to my sister, praising her business smarts while ignoring my sacrifices. I spotted unauthorized withdrawals, thousands funneled to accounts I didn't recognize. My chest tightened as I cross-checked dates. One big chunk went out right after my sister bragged about closing a deal. She'd been managing the fund, but this looked like she'd dipped in for herself. I remembered the times I'd skipped vacations, worked overtime debugging code, all to wire more money. They never thanked me, always gushing about her promotions instead. I called the bank pretending to verify a transaction. The rep confirmed the transfers, but when I asked about approvals, she hesitated. "Looks like your sister's name is on the joint access," she said. Joint access? They'd never told me that. Fury built as I pieced it together. She was skimming for personal use while my parents turned a blind eye, treating me like the backup plan. That night, I couldn't sleep. I dug deeper, logging into an old family email shared for updates. There were messages between my father and my sister discussing reallocations without mentioning me. One even referenced a luxury purchase. This wasn't oversight, it was betrayal. I decided then I'd confront them at our next family dinner. No more staying silent. Have you ever discovered a family secret that changed everything? Drop your story in the comments, hit like if this resonates, and subscribe for more real-life dramas. Don't forget to turn on notifications, you won't want to miss the next part. The next morning, I emailed Mia Reyes, my colleague and close friend who specialized in cybersecurity. I needed her expertise to dig without raising alarms. "Mia, can you help me access some old logs legally?" I asked when she called back. She agreed, explaining we could use public tools for transaction tracing since the accounts were joint. We met at a coffee shop midweek, her laptop open as she pulled up encrypted viewers. She spotted patterns in the withdrawals that matched my sister's recent business trips. "This isn't random," Mia said. "Looks like redirects to vendor payments that don't exist." As Mia cross-referenced, I recalled family dinners where my parents always steered conversations to my sister's successes. "She's closing another property deal," my mother would say, passing the salad while my father nodded approval. I'd sit there, my contributions dismissed with a wave. But now evidence mounted: one transfer linked to a mid-sized sedan my sister suddenly drove. Mia flagged it as a personal expense masked as investment. "We can report this as potential fraud," she suggested. I nodded, determination building. Then came the twist. Mia uncovered emails from a shared drive I'd forgotten about, showing my sister authorizing payments to a shady contact. "This smells like kickbacks," Mia whispered. It hit me our family had a hidden history of cutting corners, something my father once joked about in private. My sister had learned it well, using my money to bribe partners for deals. Anger surged, but I focused on facts. "Let's compile everything," I told her. We spent hours organizing screenshots and reports into a secure file. Mia added timestamps to prove the timeline. "If you confront them, have backups," she advised. I thought about the upcoming dinner, picturing their faces when truth dropped. No more playing second fiddle. By evening, the file was ready. I tested printing key pages, ensuring clarity. Mia reviewed it one last time. "This could lead to a civil suit," she said. I agreed, ready to push forward. The following day, I packed the printed pages into a plain folder and headed to my parents' house for the regular family dinner. My sister arrived first, chatting loudly about her latest client win as I walked in. My mother set the table with her usual efficiency while my father poured drinks. I kept quiet during appetizers, waiting for the right moment. When everyone sat down to the main course, my parents started their routine praise. Your sister's really turning that investment around, my father said, raising his glass. My mother chimed in, Yeah, she's got the touch we need. I smiled thinly and slid the folder across the table. Let's talk about how she's been handling it, I replied. They froze as I opened the folder, spreading out the printouts. These show $80,000 I transferred over 5 years meant for real estate rebuilding, I said, pointing to the first statement. My sister's face paled. What's this about? She demanded. I flipped to the flag transfers. These went to personal accounts, your car, those trips. And here's the chain approving payments to that contact. My father leaned forward, scanning the pages. This must be a mistake, he muttered. My mother shook her head. Honey, why bring this up now? I pressed on, revealing the kickback patterns Mia had highlighted. It's not a mistake. It's fraud using my money to seal shady deals. Tension exploded. My sister slammed her hand down. You're twisting everything I was just optimizing, she yelled. I held her gaze. Optimizing by bribing partners. That's illegal. And I have the timestamps to prove it under federal embezzlement laws like 18 USC 641. My father tried to intervene. Calm down, both of you. We can sort this privately. But I wasn't backing off. Privately, like how you kept joint access from me. My mother defended my sister. She was helping the family, I countered with more details. Helping by rerouting funds to her side gigs. This could trigger an audit. The accusations flew back and forth, my sister denying specifics while my father shifted uncomfortably. That's when my uncle, Oak John, who had joined unexpectedly, spoke up. I've seen this before, he said quietly. It was the twist he revealed, overhearing my father discuss similar shortcuts years ago, tying it to an old family scandal where they hid debts from relatives to dodge taxes, violating IRS rules. My sister turned on him. You're lying to side with her. Oak shook his head. No. I stayed silent too long. Those bribes matched the patterns from that loan they buried back in the 90s. My father admitted partial knowledge. We needed quick wins after the downturn. He confessed, his voice low. The room erupted further. My mother gasped. How do you know about that? Oak explained he had stumbled on old documents during a visit. It explains why the investments never grew, he added. This new revelation amplified the drama, showing the betrayal ran deeper than just my sister's actions. I pushed further, pulling out a separate sheet with vendor details. This contact she paid off. Public records show it's a front for her side venture, potentially qualifying as embezzlement under state fraud statutes. My sister snatched the paper. How did you get this? She snapped. Legally, through transaction traces anyone can access. I shot back. My father rubbed his temples. Enough. We'll repay you somehow. But that wasn't the point. Repay after years of ignoring my efforts while propping her up with my cash. Oak nodded in agreement. She's right. This family's favored one too long, and it could lead to civil claims. My mother tried to de-escalate. Let's eat and talk tomorrow. I refused. No, I'm consulting a lawyer for a formal demand letter. The threats escalated, my sister warning of family fallout. The dinner ended in chaos, plates untouched, as my sister stormed out, muttering about fighting back in court. Oak pulled me aside. Call me if you need witness statements for any filing, he offered. My parents sat stunned as I gathered my things. This changes everything, my father said finally. My mother pleaded one last time. Don't tear us apart. But I walked out with resolve, knowing the exposure had cracked their facade wide open. On the drive home, I dialed Mia to update her on the blow-up. They admitted parts of it, I told her. She listened intently. Good, that gives us leverage. Meet me tomorrow, we'll add affidavits to strengthen the case. The next morning, we convened at her office, where she had pulled more public records on the vendor contacts. These link to shell companies, Mia explained, highlighting entries. I contacted a lawyer specializing in financial fraud, scheduling a consultation under Virginia's embezzlement statutes like Code Section 1822-111. The attorney, after reviewing the basics over the phone, advised gathering witness statements. Get notarized ones if possible, he said. I reached out to Oak next. Uncle, can you back this up? I asked. He agreed immediately. I'll scan those old documents I mentioned and send them over. By afternoon, his email arrived with scans of faded ledgers from the 90s, showing my father's signatures on unreported loans. Mia and I cross-checked the new docs against the transfers. This proves the pattern started earlier, she noted. We formatted everything into a formal packet, including timelines under federal guidelines, like the False Claims Act, for any misreported gains. Oak called back with more details. Your father borrowed from relatives without disclosure back then, he revealed. It was another twist. The old scandal involved forging consent forms to hide the debts mirroring my sister's current schemes. He taught her those tricks, Oak added bitterly. I printed extra copies for the lawyer. This could escalate to a full audit if we push, Mia warned. I nodded, focusing on next steps. The attorney emailed a template for a cease and desist letter. Send this to halt any further disbursements, he instructed. That evening, my sister texted threats. Drop this or I'll sue for defamation, she wrote. I forwarded it to the lawyer. This counts as intimidation, he replied. Oak visited unexpectedly, bringing original documents. Use these in court if needed, he said. We discussed strategy over coffee. Your parents might settle quietly, he suggested. But I wanted accountability. Mia joined via video call. I've traced more outflows, some to offshore accounts, she updated. The twist deepened when she flagged a recent wire. Your sister just tried to move funds today. I alerted the bank under fraud protocols, freezing the account temporarily per their policy. With the packet complete, I met the lawyer in person. He reviewed it thoroughly. Strong case for civil recovery under breach of fiduciary duty. He confirmed. Oak provided a sworn statement notarized that day. I witnessed the original cover-up swum. It read. Mia added her analysis as an expert affidavit. This tech trail is ironclad, she said. My sister called voice shaky. We can work this out family style, she pleaded. I hung up. The lawyer drafted the initial complaint. File this in circuit court, he advised. I signed off, ready to serve papers. As preparations wrapped, my mother left a voicemail. Come talk before it goes too far, she urged. I ignored it, emailing the lawyer final approvals. Oak texted support. Proud of you standing up. Mia sent one last trace report. All set for discovery phase. The stage was primed for confrontation in court. The lawyer filed the complaint the next week, serving papers to my sister and parents through certified mail under Virginia's civil procedure rules like Rule 3.5. My sister called immediately, her voice frantic. You're ruining us! Drop the suit! She shouted. I stayed calm. Too late. The court's involved now. Mia monitored online filings confirming receipt. They have 21 days to respond, she updated. Oak submitted his affidavit to the clerk detailing the forged consents from decades ago. The judge scheduled a preliminary hearing citing potential violations of fiduciary duties under common law precedents, like those in Virginia Supreme Court cases such as Roe v. Brooks. My father emailed a desperate plea. Meet us to settle, he wrote. I forwarded it as evidence of evasion. Then the twist emerged during discovery. Mia uncovered bank records showing my mother had co-signed some of the bribes, linking back to an unreported inheritance they hid to avoid estate taxes under IRS Section 2033. My sister hired a defense attorney, filing a motion to dismiss. Frivolous claims, her lawyer argued in the brief. But our side countered with Oak's documents proving the family pattern of concealment. The hearing unfolded in a local courthouse, my lawyer presenting the timeline. This is systematic embezzlement, he stated. My sister's counsel objected. No proof of intent. I testified briefly outlining the transfers. The judge denied the motion. Proceed to trial, she ruled. Back home, my mother showed up unannounced. We didn't mean to hurt you, she said, handing over partial repayment checks. I refused them. This isn't about money anymore, it's accountability. Oak revealed more in a call. That inheritance. It came from a great aunt who cut off your branch because of prior disputes. Essa. He explained, adding layers to the family's secretive history of favoritism and exclusions. As trial prep intensified, Mia traced additional wires to a hidden account. Your sister siphoned more last month, she reported. We amended the complaint under Rule 316 seeking punitive damages. My father appeared at my door with my mother. Admit it, we favored her because she reminded us of lost opportunities. He confessed. The twist hit harder. They revealed suppressing a childhood incident where my sister blamed me for a family loss to gain their sympathy, forging my involvement in old notes. We believed her then, my mother admitted. I recorded the conversation legally under Virginia's one-party consent law, Code Section 19-262. This goes to the lawyer, I said. Oak corroborated it with memories. I suspected but stayed out. The evidence mounted, weakening their defense. The pre-trial conference brought concessions. My sister's lawyer proposed a settlement, full restitution plus interest per negotiation standards. No admission of guilt, he insisted. I pushed back through my attorney. Include a no-contact clause, we demanded. They agreed reluctantly. My father signed first. We're sorry, he muttered. My mother nodded silently. My sister glared during the signing. You'll regret this, she whispered. But the judge approved it, enforcing the terms under contract law. Oak witnessed the process. Justice served, he said. Mia reviewed the final docs. Solid prevents future claims. The payout arrived via wire covering my losses. With the case closed, my sister faced separate IRS scrutiny from the tips we submitted anonymously under whistleblower programs like Form 211. They're auditing now, Mia confirmed. My parents downsized quietly, their real estate dreams shattered. Oak distanced himself from them. Family ties break when trust does, he texted. I blocked their numbers, focusing on work promotions ahead. Months later, the restitution checks cleared, depositing the full amount plus interest into my account under the settlement agreement enforced by Virginia Code Section 801-425. I invested part in a certification course for advanced software engineering, landing a promotion at work with a 20% raise. Mia celebrated with me over lunch. You earned this, she said, clinking glasses. Oak kept in touch, sharing updates on the family's fallout. Your sister's business folded after the IRS levied penalties, he reported. The audit uncovered more discrepancies, leading to fines under Section 662 for accuracy-related penalties. My parents sold off properties to cover debts, relocating to a smaller condo. I ignored their attempts at contact, enforcing the no-contact clause through a restraining order petition if needed, per Code Section 16-1253.1. Then a twist surfaced. Oak discovered letters from extended relatives, revealing my father had slandered my reputation in family circles years ago to justify the favoritism, claiming I lacked ambition to shift blame for their financial woes. My sister emailed once, bypassing the block via a new address. We need help rebuilding, she wrote desperately. I reported it as a violation to the lawyer. Pursue contempt charges, he recommended under court rules. Oak testified in a follow-up hearing. Their actions isolated her deliberately, he stated. The judge imposed additional sanctions barring any future claims against me. My mother tried a handwritten note delivered by mail. Forgive us for the past, it read. I shredded it without response. Work thrived. Meanwhile, I led a new project team implementing code that streamlined operations. Mia collaborated on a side gig. Your skills shine now, she commented. The family's network crumbled as relatives distanced themselves after learning the truth from Oak's disclosures. They cut ties with your parents, he informed me, as penalties mounted. My sister's license for real estate dealings got suspended under professional conduct rules from the Virginia Real Estate Board. Can't practice for 2 years, Oak updated. My father took a menial job to make ends meet. Regrets hit hard, he messaged through a mutual acquaintance. I blocked that too. The twist evolved when Mia dug into public filings. My parents' marriage strained filing for separation, citing financial stress under no-fault grounds per Code Section 2091. The betrayal boomeranged, Mia observed. I focused on building savings, buying a compact condo outright. Oak visited for dinner. You've rebuilt stronger, he said. Relatives reached out to me directly offering support. We see the real story now, one cousin texted. The IRS wrapped their case seizing assets to satisfy back taxes under levy powers in Section 6331. My sister declared bankruptcy Chapter 7 style, liquidating holdings. It's over for her ventures, Oak confirmed. My parents' pleas stopped entirely. I advanced to senior engineer mentoring juniors. Mia and I pitched a joint app idea to investors. This is your fresh start, she encouraged. The family's old secrets faded as I cut all remaining links, donating inherited items to charity. No more baggage, I told Oak. With stability secured, I volunteered at a local tech nonprofit teaching coding to underserved kids. Inspiring, Mia called it. Oak shared one last update. They're isolated now, facing the consequences alone. I nodded, closing that chapter definitively. Years passed smoothly after that. With my career skyrocketing, I negotiated a lead role in a major software firm overseeing a team that developed innovative security apps. Mia partnered with me on freelance contracts, turning our skills into a profitable side business. We're unstoppable together, she joked during a team meeting. Oak became a mentor figure, introducing me to industry contacts. You've outgrown the old shadows, he said at a networking event. Relatives who once sided silently now invited me to gatherings, excluding my parents and sister. One aunt confessed over phone. We regret not speaking up sooner. The family's isolation deepened when public records showed my sister facing civil penalties from former clients suing for misrepresentation under Virginia's Consumer Protection Act Code Section 59.1 to 200. My father attempted one final outreach through a lawyer's letter requesting mediation. Deny it, my attorney advised, citing the prior no-contact terms. My sister's downfall accelerated. She lost her home in foreclosure proceedings under standard mortgage laws, relocating out of state. Oak forwarded news clippings. Karma catches up, he noted. My parents' separation finalized, dividing scant assets per equitable distribution rules in Code Section 20107-3. A twist unfolded via a distant cousin's call. They revealed my mother had orchestrated selective inheritances long ago, funneling extras to my sister while claiming shortages to me, violating probate equality principles. She doctored the will addendums, the cousin explained. I filed a supplemental claim for undue influence, recovering additional funds through arbitration. Mia analyzed the new evidence. This seals their legacy of deceit, she said. Oak testified again. Ends the cycle, he affirmed. The arbitrator ruled in my favor, awarding treble damages under fraud statutes. Empowered, I launched a personal blog on financial integrity and families, drawing thousands of readers. Share your experiences, I posted. Comments flooded in. Mia co-authored pieces. Powerful stuff, she praised. Oak contributed guest posts on spotting red flags. Educate to prevent, he wrote. My ex-family's attempts at reconciliation ceased after the arbitration, their reputations tarnished in local circles. A former neighbor messaged. They moved away quietly. I donated the extra recovery to fraud prevention nonprofits. At a conference, I spoke on resilience. Break free from toxic ties, I urged the audience. Applause followed. Mia filmed it. Viral potential, she said. The ultimate win came when my app secured a government contract, boosting my net worth significantly. You built this from scratch. Oak congratulated. Relatives praised my independence. Inspiring turnaround, an uncle texted. My sister's license revocation extended indefinitely by the board. My parents faced elder care challenges alone. The twist lingered in a final letter from the cousin. My great aunt's original will named me equally, but alterations hid it. Justice restored, I told Mia. She nodded. Full circle. I cut all loose ends, thriving without regrets. In the end, greed destroys trust and fractures bonds that should protect. If your family undervalues you, stand firm and reclaim your worth. Don't wait for apologies that may never come. Thanks for following my journey. Have you faced similar betrayals? Comment below, like if this empowered you, and subscribe for more stories of triumph. Turn on notifications, you won't want to miss what's next.